So, all those top secret documents found in Joe Biden's garage right next to the car, how did they get there? They were just misfiled. It was a simple misfiling. This is his latest denial.
That you did not reveal the existence of the documents back in November before the midterm.
Hang on, okay? Look, as we found a handful of documents were filed in the wrong place. We immediately turned them over to the archives of the Justice Department. We're fully cooperating, looking forward to getting this resolved quickly. I think you're going to find there's nothing there. I have no regrets. I'm following what the lawyers have told me they want me to do. It's exactly what we're doing. There's no there. Thank you.
He said he has no regrets. It's the kind of thing you say around resignation time, isn't it? Oh, Joe, this is just a misfiling. Yeah, you misfiled them. You don't misfile things in your garage. You throw a bunch of trash in the garage. What is going on here? Joe is in serious trouble. That, whatever it was, is not going to cut it. And here's more evidence that he's in real trouble. His base, the mainstream media, they're turning on him. Now, they haven't finally found their courage. They're being encouraged by Democrats, probably, the deep state, who knows. But they're talking about stuff that we were talking about 4 years ago.
Joe Biden's brothers have repeatedly referenced him in their private dealings. Frank Biden, a developer of for-profit charter schools, has invoked his brother in trying to convince local officials to approve his projects, like in Sunrise, Florida, where he told the city in 2015 to trust his venture.
Not because of Frank, but because of the honor of being the brother of a guy I think we all know and love.
In 2021, at a gathering of medical professionals, he made this pledge.
The bully pulpit that I have as a result of the privilege of being associated with my brother Joey. And I'll do everything in my power to support you to get the job done, to get federal dollars to your research.
Frank Biden told CNN there has been zero interaction between his brother's public office and his private business, adding, "Do I engage in any way in quid pro quo on any level? Absolutely not."
Wow, I had not seen that footage before. He was doing it in 2021. What? You hear that? I'm a Biden. I'm going to get you federal money. CNN goes on. The game has changed, folks.
Kathleen Clark, a government ethics expert, calls it all troubling.
We have certainly examples of Biden family members explicitly trading on his name, trying to convince business partners to do deals with them. That's outrageous.
Hello! Finally! Look, again, it's not because they suddenly found their courage. They are being pushed by Democrats who want to take Joe out. I know it. And this is highlighting all of Joe's problems. Personal corruption, potentially, staffing issues. Talk about staffing issues. That press secretary, yikes.
On Friday, did you or did you not know about the additional 5?
I literally just answered that question.
But I missed it, so is it yes or no?
Well, I mean, you're not too far sitting next to her, so I was very clear. I provided the information that you all had at the time, and I confirmed. No, I did not know. I'm saying I had the information. I actually said this to Cecilia. I had the information that you all had at the time, right? And so this is why I also said to Cecilia, this is why we are trying to be very prudent here.
She could not spin. What's an easy thing to spin? I don't know. A fourth grader not doing their homework, something like that. She's in way over her head. How did this happen? This is a presidential spokeswoman. They didn't look at her credentials. They didn't look at her skills. What did they look at? The thing that apparently, for some reason, she's most proud of: her gender, her race, and her orientation.
I am a Black, gay, immigrant woman, the first of all 3 of those to hold this position.
Can we talk about you as a trailblazer, the first Black, the first immigrant, the first openly gay person to hold the job of White House press secretary.
Any young girl or young boy, when they look up, they see me, that they know that they can dream big and even dream bigger.
There's a knowingness that you are different, so you're trying to figure out. And at 16, I came out to my mom. She did not take it very well. I said to her that I was a lesbian, that I was gay.
All right. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the orientation, the race, the gender. Nobody. Maybe the woke left, maybe Democrat Party chieftains, maybe Joe Biden, but regular people don't care. She has made a career out of being this way. She wrote a book, didn't talk much about the book, talked about the 3 or 4 favorite things about herself.
The doors to the halls of power were beginning to open up. People like me walked through and for the first time felt like we belonged. And then they tried to shut the door on us.
Ah, yes, shut the door on us. It's called an election, okay? The other guy won. Political turnover, it happens. Here's the part about those 3 or 4 things she loves so much.
The man who is now sitting in the building I used to work in hates everything that I am. A black, gay immigrant woman.
There is a black gay immigrant woman. Again, it's irrelevant. We don't care. It's not helping you right now. And that's quite a statement, huh? Donald Trump hates you because you're a black gay immigrant woman. Well, that's not true. He loves people, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you came from. And I think he was friends with a black gay immigrant woman or two. Let's go through. Let's see. This is, okay, that's Martina Navratilova, famous tennis player. I believe she's gay. I believe she's an immigrant. That is a woman. Let's see who else is on the list here. Elton John, not a woman, happens to be gay, from the UK. That would make him an immigrant. Although, did he become a citizen? I don't know. Let's see who else. Ooh, that guy on the right. That is the late Andre Leon Talley. Great guy. Although I think he's from North Carolina, definitely gay, definitely black, and definitely friends with the... It goes on and on and on like this. Naomi Campbell, supermodel. No idea what her orientation is, but she came from the UK. All right, we've been through a whole bunch here, and I can't find a black gay immigrant woman for sure. Maybe she's onto something, huh? Maybe Donald Trump? Of course not. So interesting, by the way. You saw these pictures and the life he led here in New York for many decades. So wild that he's the one who made Roe v. Wade go away. He did it. He did it. And it's interesting how quickly people forget. That celebration, it was awesome, right? People were very, very happy. They were fighting that for a long, long time. This is all in the news today because you may remember there was a leak of the decision months before it came out. The marshal of the Supreme Court came out today that the team has to date been unable to identify a person responsible. They talked to about 100 people who would have access to that opinion. They can't find out who leaked it, which, oh, by the way, was unprecedented and put people at risk. Like Justice Kavanaugh. They showed up at his house right away and started doing all kinds of things. Hey, Liz Warren, I mean, she almost had a heart attack. I mean, that was even tough on the people we don't like. We don't want anybody to drop dead of a heart attack. And by the way, that ruling was phenomenal. Most people didn't read it. If you read it, and if you're a pro-abortion person, there's hope for you, okay? It goes back to the states. It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. Is that a problem? I don't think so, actually. But the people who should be celebrating and supporting Donald Trump all the way to 2024 and beyond have abandoned him, apparently. Evangelical Christians. They're sitting on their hands. They're withholding their support for Donald Trump. And he's noticed that.
They got something that they've been fighting for 64 years or many, many years.
Right.
And nobody thought they could win it. You know, they won. Roe v. Wade, they won. They finally won. And, you know, I was a little disappointed because I thought they could have fought much harder during the election, during the 22 election, because, you know, they won. And a lot of them didn't fight or weren't really around to fight. And it did energize the Democrats. But a lot of the people that wanted and fought for years to get it, they sort of, I don't know, they weren't there protesting and doing what they could have done.
It's true. And it's sad, isn't it? I mean, look at what he did. Those justices, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, Amy Coney Barrett, especially Amy Coney Barrett, pulling that off, given the limited time frame, it was amazing. Remember George W. Bush? He gave us John Roberts. Okay, thanks a lot for that one. He did give us Alito, but you know what? These people, these country club Republicans, they never really were into the cause. They weren't. They kept the right to life movement at arm's length, literally, or many arm's length. Let's see here. It started, I think, in the Reagan era, these massive right to life rallies in Washington, D.C. Really great, really mobilized people. And Republican presidents would just phone it in, literally. Even the president I love, Ronald Reagan, never went there. He just gave him a call on the phone. Bush was the same way. George H.W. Bush never actually went there. You know, wanted to keep those conservatives at bay. Let's see, George W. Bush, right? He boasted about a lot of things. And anyway, only called them on the phone. What do you think Donald Trump did?
It is my profound honor to be the first president in history to attend the March for Life. We're here for a very simple reason: to defend the right of every child, born and unborn, to fulfill their God-given potential.
Not bad, huh? In person, he made good on the promise. And it was 50, 60 years we were waiting for it. Where are the evangelical Christians? You know, I could say I'm an evangelical Christian. I mean, I feel a connection. I feel yeah, all right, let's get on board and help him. Oh, you like Ron DeSantis? Is that it? Because well, look, Ron is a talented guy. I personally am not ready for a president who's younger than I am. I'm not. Sometimes it comes down to those things. He'll be president one day. I love it. But it's not his turn. And Mike Pompeo, here's another guy he's basically already declared for president. He's declared for president. So disloyal. So disloyal. Donald Trump gave him 2 opportunities of a lifetime. Before Secretary of State, he was CIA. Listen to Donald Trump talk about his brand new CIA director and all the other people who came and wanted the job.
But I'd see 6, 7, 8 people for a certain position. Everybody wanted it. But I met Mike Pompeo, and it was the only guy I met. I didn't want to meet anybody else. I said, cancel everybody else. He was #1 at West Point, and he was also essentially #1 at Harvard Law School. And then he decided to go into the military, and he ran for Congress. And everything he's done has been a home run. People like him, but much more importantly to me, everybody respects him. You will be getting a total star. You're going to be getting a total gem. This is a gem.
Think about it. Has anybody ever talked about you like that, right? Given you such a public endorsement? I think that, and given you really great jobs, I think that counts for something. How has Mike Pompeo paid him back? Well, he's running for president, and he's also insulting the guy that we like.
It's good to see you. It's great to be your warm-up act tonight. Who knows? The next time we're together, we could be on a stage, multiple podiums. Who knows who else might be with us? Yeah, who knows? And who knows who will between us, and who knows what nicknames we might have. It's
Yeah, that was a jab at President Trump and a lame joke. And these minor players are turning on each other. Pompeo is coming out with a book pretty soon, and he takes aim at Nikki Haley. Remember her, the ambassador to the United Nations? Let's go to Mike's book. He says that she made a play to be vice president. At best, John Kelly could tell they were presenting a possible Haley for vice president option. Clearly, this visit did not reflect a team effort, but undermined our work for America. All right, so she was briefly pushing herself to be the vice president. Number one, I'm not a Nikki Haley fan. Number two, lots of vice presidents they've considered getting rid of before. It happens. And it happened to Mike Pence. Too bad it didn't happen to Mike Pence. Bush thought about getting rid of Quayle. Remember that? Quayle, much smarter, much better than people get him credit for. But H.W. Bush thought of tossing him. Eisenhower famously was, he was almost abusive toward Richard Nixon when he was the vice president. Nixon actually kind of returned the favor to the vice presidency by giving Agnew a hard time. And unfortunately, let's see, Obama never seemed to have rethought having Joe Biden on the ticket in 2012. So Haley wanted to be vice president. I don't think so. I don't think she's going to be president. And if she is, she's got to work on her material. It's too corny.
And if Biden succeeds in getting back in the Iran deal, I will make you a promise. I've said it before. The next president will shred it on her first day in office.
That's cute, huh? It sounds like she's running for den mother or something in the Girl Scouts. Not impressed. And oh, by the way, she perpetuated the Charlottesville lie about Trump in her book. She writes as follows: a leader's words matter in these situations, and the president's words have been hurtful and dangerous. No, they weren't. They were taken out of context, okay? And you're doing the same thing for your political goals. So let's go back to President Trump. I think it's looking very good for him for the nomination. Forget about the fake news for a moment, all right? Look at these polls. Look at the numbers, all right? That is a commanding lead. And Nikki Haley and Mike Pompeo, you might as well quit now. You know who else should quit now? The ultimate, him. He's not going to be the Democrat nominee, I can tell you that. I don't know who the Republican nominee will be for sure. I know for sure the Democrat nominee will not be Joe. And it is because of this file situation and a whole lot of other things. I'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. Your retirement funds are being threatened with even more losses from record inflation, recession, and skyrocketing interest rates. Fortunately, the highly trained specialists at American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. If you call them right now as a special offer, they will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order, so don't wait. Call 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309, or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532.